Hey peeps, Eric here. First things first, I need to thank you. Thank you for watching the previous The Build video on Skull Towers here. It is by far the most watched video on the channel. I can't tell you enough how good it felt to see one of the videos blow up like that. It's got like the most hours watched, it's got the most views, and it also has the most videos that new subscribers have added themselves to. Thank you very much. It felt really good to see a video like that to blow up. Regardless, this is the companion video to that. I'm not sure what to call them. They're like skull, a tin skeleton, clump, mound, scatter terrains? Sure. I'll figure it out with the thumbnail. Anyway, this is that video. Thank you once again. This is the build. Here we go. Nothing new. Here's some old foam that I've had that I'd cut out and gridded before. It's just been sitting in the garage looking for a reason to be used. I've got my framing square, just marking out 3 by 3, going down 3 by 3, little pens, and then just cutting it gently a couple times so it's all the way through, give or take. And then once it's done, you can simply take it and give it a good snap. 1, snap, 2. Don't need the big piece, get rid of it. All this is just done by eye now. Just taking it and kind of cutting it to size. Once again, knives are sharp. Be careful. Wink. Just lining it up. Once again, no general shape other than I want it to be tall. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4. All this stuff, once again, I cut and grid at one point, just waiting for a time to be used. This is that time. I wanted to have 2 large kind of mounds and a couple smaller mounds. And so that's what these 4 by 4 bases are going to be used for. 2 big ones, 3 small ones, done. All I'm doing is lining them up, giving it a little tickle, and then just putting some hot glue on the bottom. This is fairly straightforward, lining it up, dropping it down. There's the first one, here's the second one. Amazing stuff. There you go, there's your foundations. Now taking my knife, making sure the blade is sharp and long, and just going away and starting to chisel in on those larger of the 2 mounds. Really just notching it in. Once again, knives are sharp, please be careful. All these scraps, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I might hold on to them, I might get rid of them. Now for the most part, I use my picking tool for this, but not everybody has one. I don't even know what it's called. So I thought I'd use just a standard flathead screwdriver to show you that you can do this stuff with just everyday common tools. Just going in, really just giving everything a good chiseling, giving it that marbled kind of textured look, and then going into the base as well. I found that the tops were just too uniform, so I figured I'd go back in and take a couple notches out, making the terrain a little more jagged, making it a little more difficult for the minis to stand on. Moving on to the smaller ones. Once again, there's no rhyme or reason to these. Just have a whole bunch of scraps that you should hold on to if you have the space. And then just layer it on, just generic rough shapes. Glue, old coffee can lid, just throwing it on there. You know me, I don't worry about making a mess. Put your drop cloth down on the floor so you don't get anything on the carpet and the wife doesn't kill you. And then just lay the bricks on. Some big ones, some small ones. I pre-cut a whole bunch in advance. That way they're just there if you need them. Once again, no rhyme or reason, just full. Spackle. This is the last of the can. Man, this can lasts me forever. But it's all hard, all crusty. Add some water, mix it up. Once again, you're looking for that kind of thick porridge-like texture. Once you've got it fairly fluid, add in your rocks, and then just mix it in. Stir it up really good. Just layer it on. I'm just looking to fill the crevices, to fill the cracks, to make sure it looks organic and looks like it's one piece. It goes on pink, it dries white. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough. So you can see there's some seams between the base and the add-ons. That's okay. It's going to be Mod-Podged just fine. Listen to that sound. Only Mod-Podge makes that sound. Just pour it in, an old dollar store brush, and just layer it on. I don't mess around with Mod-Podge. I get it on quick. I just dab it in, try to get 95% coverage. I'm not worried about all the nooks and crannies. There's another sound for you. When your paint bottles start making that sound, it's just time to chuck them. Dollar store paint, dollar store brush. For the most part, everything here purchased at the dollar store. Going in with a light gray tone, just layering it on, dab, 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 getting it into all the crevices. And then you guessed it, it's more black in the same light gray mixture. And then just mixing it and getting my mid-tone. I do enjoy color. I do enjoy doing different tones. Once you have your light tone on, just go in with a mid-tone, dab, dab, dab everywhere. Once again, you're looking for like that camouflage look. And then once that's done, just a heavy dose of black again. You're going for your dark tone. And then you're just going in, once again, maybe with 20, maybe with 60% coverage. You don't want to go heavy. You just want enough so that it can cover up and give it that more layered depth to it. Have some paper towel or rag on hand. You never know when you're going to make a mess. Thank you, Adam. I'm going to put these minis to good use. Just got to dig deep. Hopefully what I need is in this damn box. Man, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's a scorpion. Goodbye. Well, I was using these minis for a game, and I lost a dice. Wink. There it is. Dice. They're easy to lose, easy to step on. Then I stumbled across this bag. Has a whole bunch of skeletons in there, maybe kobolds or some kind of creatures. They'll work perfect for what I'm trying to do. I'm not spending a lot of time on these. I just want to get the paint on. Some white. Just dab, dab, dab. Not worried about 100% coverage. Just give them all a really good once over. Let that dry. A little bit of brown paint. And then just dab them again to give them a little bit of texture. And they're finished. Unfortunately, I don't need the bases on this. Sorry, Adam. I'm having to clip these up. We'll figure something out in the future. I want to get the full legs in there, so I'm being fairly cautious when cutting them out. Nothing fancy. Now I'm just going to place them all into or within the rock surface, almost as if they've been merged or captured. Kind of like the skulls from the previous video, how they're just kind of embedded in the stone. The same ideas for these guys. So I'm just taking my picky tool. I really need to find out what the hell this thing is called. And then just cutting in a notch. It's fairly easy. It is foam after all. Sometimes that plaster gets in the way, so you just have to cut it out or work around it. You can see there's a little nook there. And then just getting it in. Taking your picky tool, or like I said earlier, was a screwdriver, and just kind of tucking it in there, making sure it's embedded fully. Fits fairly nicely. Fits organically. So I'm just taking my hot glue gun, inserting a healthy bead into all three of the notches, and then sticking them in there. Fairly straightforward. Sometimes, if they don't quite fit fully, I'll just put a dollop of hot glue and stick it, where his belly is, and just shove that in there too. Hot glue is hot, so I'm just kind of pushing him until it's dry, nice and cool. Done. Do that times 10. Black wash. You can see I'm almost out. Here we go. Healthy dose of black, dollar store, and a good chunk of water. I usually go about 30% paint, 70% water. I was running short, so I thought I'd just fill her up. Thank you, Louie, for the mug. I use it all the time. Thank you, Louie. Very nice gift. As stated, I use it all the time. There you go, nice and washy. Just take your dollar store brush and dab it on. Don't be afraid the water isn't going to destroy anything. It's going to dry and it's going to give it that weathered look to it. Have a drop cloth or drop piece of foam down and paper towel once again, just in case you have an accident. I layer it on thick, I layer it on wet, get it done. This all 5 pieces took me about 5-6 minutes. And so before moving or doing anything else, I wanted to clean this up. Paper towel, just dab it up, throw it in the garbage. Now I wanted to make these mounds different looking from the skull mounds. So I had these old bridges, these old paneling that I had made years ago, and they were just sitting around. So I thought I'd put them to good use. I clipped them up, gouged the foam so they'd have a place to sit, a hot glue bead, and just slamming it in there. Once again, these are supposed to be organic, kind of a little bit of everything in there. And I figured, you know what? Let's give it a little bit of texture, give it a different look, a couple more different surfaces for the figs to stand on. Looks good. Flocking. Before I used on the skull towers, I used straight up this yellow hay. This time I figured I'd use a little bit of yellow and green. Still kind of dead, but I wanted to give it a little more color. So I probably went 60-70% yellow, 30% green. Glue, fairly straightforward, a big dollop, and just lay in with the flocking. Do it over a drop sheet or some kind of container to contain the mess. That's why they're called containers. And then just lay it on. Give it a couple pats to knock off the loose stuff, and you're good. You're done. I had 2 remaining sheets of these tufts remaining. I went with the darker, more dead of the 2 looking. Little dollop of glue, laid in there. On the big ones, I went with 5 or 6 of these tufts. On the small ones, I went with 3 or 4. These you can buy online or you can buy at your local hobby store. $10 for a whole schwack of them. Bang, finished. Now I'm just going to spritz all that flocking with my glue/water mixture. You can see how thick it is. It's supposed to be that way, so I'm told. And just lay it on. It is going to dry. It is going to dry clear. So don't worry about it looking all white and milky. That will pass. So I do the flocking and I give the tufts a really good once over. The tufts I imagine you don't have to, but I do. Don't tell Adam, but all these little figs, all these little minis are from his A&W fry box. Yeah, I had to chop them up. I had to use them. Sorry, Adam. I owe you lunch. Tell you what, I'll take you to A&W. You can get yourself a matzo burger. That's this video. Fairly simple build. You can build it in a couple days. All dollar store stuff for the most part. Thank you once again. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Every little bit helps. You guys are killing it. The channel's doing very well. Please check out the 24-hour D&D marathon that we're doing for the Children's Hospital this November 1st and November 2nd. It's 12 hours Saturday, 12 hours Sunday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to raise a lot of money for the hospital. It's important to me, and I hope it's important to you. That being said, this is the Arcane Table. My name is Eric. And remember, you're always welcome at the table. Ouch. Would we look good? Probably not, but still.